Big shout out to everybody. Prad's coming through next. Sharif's there. Ramin and Fabian over there. Big shout out. Mark, Rob, everybody that we possibly can. Bears versus Bulls.
Always Bears versus Bulls. Love you.
And everybody out there as well. So be safe, Brando. Be safe to Sharif as well, because he's out there running around on the beach somewhere apparently. So shout out to Sharif, maybe being mobbed right now.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, tough one there. All right, man. Here we go. Let's throw it over to Prad. Oh, by the way, come to my screen right now quickly.
Or not.
Or not.
Oh,
yeah, right
here.
here. Look at Apple. Apple
bang.
is like
There it is.
very comfortably right now above what.
That's
But
a real break. That's the official break.
Why?
It's not
why
during
is
market yet. Oh. It's not during market yet, Bradley.
Brendan. He always has to throw cold water on everybody. Okay, well, Brad can discuss the bet, and he can tell you what it's all about. So, all right, thank you from everybody here on Trader TV Live. Have a good one, Brendan, and we'll see you soon. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30. So, ciao to everybody. Over to Brad.
Welcome to the After Hours show, the After the Close show, where we're going to talk about all the fun movers from today, all of the week, to be honest, and find some trades that could set up for us to take advantage, put some money in our pocket to wrap up this wonderful week that we were presented by the stock market. Hopefully all of you out there had a good, profitable green day and are looking for more opportunities, especially NKE. NKE coming out with earnings today around 4:15 or so. There's no other big major stock coming out with earnings, and as you guys heard Brendo talk about how 2 weeks from now, Monday, July 10th, we'll have about 200 stocks before market and after market announcing earnings. So earnings season is coming back into play. We're gonna have a lot of fun covering all of these movers that are coming out since from July 10th and forward. So get your earnings hats on and get ready for all of these moves and excitements that the market's gonna give us. Let's actually start off with a couple positions that we were looking at today. For example, it's going to be LCID. The EV sector is still very, very hot. We've seen Tesla yesterday absolutely rip to the north side, but Lucid over here still holding those gains. That 620 breakout, target 7. It is giving you that target of 7. I mean, today's high, I believe, was 6.99. So we're talking about pennies over here about the target 7. Now, the next level for me on this very same stock over here would be anywhere above $8 or so. If we can get back above 7, I mean, we didn't really officially break 7, kind of like how Apple didn't officially break 190 today off the open, but it did later on just now, as you guys saw Apple breaking that 190. Same way, maybe you could say the same thing about Lucid over here, which didn't truly break 7 today, but we're talking about pennies, right? This move coming in tomorrow, though, the continuation move on Lucid, we're looking for that gap close play now coming into it, where the break of 7 could give us that beautiful move up to 750 or even 8. The swing traders out there who took this call out, who took this trade, gave it that risk of the all-time low, you're laughing right now. You're absolutely laughing about your risk to reward because you are 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as a day trader. And if you're a swing trader, then you might just get more out of this trade. Let's watch carefully how the stock trades around $7 tomorrow. Just a couple ideas that I like to set myself up with trade plans and trade setups, kind of visualize the trade. Visualization always helps you get prepared for the things that are coming up. So if we can visualize a couple scenarios over here for Lucid, pre-market tomorrow, we could see the stock already above 7 with the continued 3-day strong strength that it has in itself. But if we see the stock below 7 in pre-market, there's 2 trade setups there. Below 7 means we can see a break of 7 and then a run to 750 and a run to 8. But if it's below 7, we could see a break of 7, failing that 7, and then giving us a chance to get short. So those are the 2 setups over there if the stock is below 7 in pre-market. Now, if the stock is above 7 in pre-market, then you're looking for a possible dip buy back into the 690s, back into the 680s, maybe 7 holds off the open. And if it's above 7 off the open and we're seeing buying come in right off the rip, then you just get long and look for the stock to get up to $7.50, $8 for tomorrow. It will be hard for me to really be bearish on a stock that's so strong on the last few days over here, especially with the strong catalyst behind it. So for me to short the 7, I need to see a lot of selling coming in and real size selling. When I mean real size, I filter my time of sales for about $25,000 notional value. So whatever that notional value ends up being, where the stock is trading at that moment, I'll filter it for that much amount of size being traded, and then it becomes simple, a red light, green light game, where you're just studying the tape, you're studying the level 2, and you're just waiting for the buyers to come in, and you're jumping in with them, and you're looking to see where the support is. So Lucid setting up almost like that AMD short off the gap fill trade. I love setups like this. We're going to have this one on the radar. Another stock in the same sector, which has also been very, very active today. Sadly, not able to take out too much above yesterday's high, which happens to be around $260. That's going to be Tesla, TSLA. We thought that, most likely we could see the gap fill trade coming in on Tesla, the break of 240, taking it down to 230, 235 areas. But 240 showing us buyers, ripping it right back into this range high at the moment. Now we're looking for that 260 area to see how the stock trades. The high a day, 260.74. Maybe 261 gives us a breakout area, but I have a line over here at 261.57. I'm going to say anywhere from 261.50 all the way up to 252 is the area that I'm looking for a breakout on Tesla. If we do get that breakout, then I wouldn't be surprised with another move straight back to the north side over here around 280s. This is the anchored volume profile that you're looking at my chart right now. This anchored volume profile shows you where most of the volume transacted in this blue box. So all of these candles from this day over here of 1st June all the way up to 29th of June. Where was the volume traded? Where did most of the volume transact at? That happens to be around $255, $256, and we closed pretty much around it. I always tell you guys how I find these volume profile nodes to be very, very informative, and you'll see this level kind of coming into play maybe tomorrow. If we were to zoom out to the whole year chart, this would be the 52-week chart. See how much lower that level is? I don't think we go all the way back down to that level. I mean, that's quite a bit of a move right now. We could see, though, a little bit of a move into these tops over here, around 270 or so as a swing trade, but Tesla very, very bullish. I'm not really thinking about shorting Tesla or any large cap stock as a swing trade, maybe as a day trade, but not as a swing trade. But if you are looking for that setup, you can short somewhere around these areas, give it that risk up to the highs, and then your reward is all the way back down into these areas near 200. Once again, not looking for that setup, but the setups are there. What am I looking for? Looking for the breakout long, looking for the dip buy long. If 240 comes back into play, dip buy longs. If we see any of these previous levels around 250, 255, 245, this $5 increments come into play, we could try something there too. And the breakout, obviously, very, very easy breakout. If 240 doesn't hold, the short back through 240 is also an amazing trade, and you guys know how much I like the short stocks. Another stock in the same sector is actually going to be Rivian. Let me quickly open up my YouTube chat here because I feel like I had it open, but I think I closed it back down. So let me quickly try to open that bad boy. Come on. All right, forget it. I'll just do it while I'm talking. So Rivian over here moved around quite a bit today. I mean, 9% to the upside. What a crazy move on Rivian. Congratulations to all Tesla bulls, all EV stock bulls in general. Very, very good moves to the upside over here for some of these absolutely beat down EV stocks. Good night, Sean. Get home safe. Absolutely beat down stocks over here, the Lucids, the Rivians, the NIOs, the XPEVs. It's good to see some of these stocks moving back into these ranges where they found barriers in. Now the question ends up being, can these barriers be eliminated and can we start ticking higher? As you can see, this is the 100 period EMA and this is the 50 period EMA. Let's just actually make the 100 period a different color so we don't get confused by it. Let's make the 100 period black, okay? The 100 period EMA, the 50 period EMA, and we are now exactly at the 100 period EMA on the one-day chart. It's a pretty significant moving average that people use to gauge how a stock is moving on a longer time frame. So the fact that we moved into a triple top, a quadruple top, and also a moving average, that gives me confluence. Now, off of this level, we could really size up on a short or really size up on a long. If this area shows you resistance, very simple, get short. If this area shows you a breakthrough, then you could get long very easily. As long as volume is there, you could take a ton of leverage and look for that move up to $18, $20, $22 to come into play. This stock is currently trading around $16. After hours is still a green move on RIVN. So they don't want to stop this climb up north side. They still want to keep going. And only thing we can do is join the party. Join the party or be the contrarian, which I always am, and then that one hurts a little bit when you're wrong. When you're the contrarian, it hurts you very, very much. So here are the levels that I would like to see Rivian go test next. Let's get above 16. Let's move to 18, 20, and then $22 on RIVN. Positive moves on the EV sector, ladies and gentlemen. Positive moves on the EV sector. People in the chat are saying TOP is ripping. So let's go check out TOP. TOP on the NASDAQ. TOP is indeed moving right now. Wow. TOP went from $6 to $10. Well, almost $10 coming in. Keep in mind, this is one of those Hong Kong, Chinese-based stocks where, the games are dimes a dozen. They play tons of games over here. I think another stock in the same basket was MEGL, if I remember correctly. The companies that I'm talking about are all managed by another ticker named AMTD. So HKD, MEGL, TOP. They're all managed by the same underwriter, which is AMTD, and we've seen this stock absolutely go crazy. So watch out for this one. Top most likely will be on the Trader TV live watch list that's sent out every morning to you guys directly to your inbox, so you can read it, find out why a stock is moving, what the reason is behind it, and if that reason is valuable enough to for you to make an execution off of. So go sign up for the Trader TV watch list. Bears versus Bull already sent the watch list link for you in the chat, so make sure you click that one. Top struggling around $9 right now. We are back under 9, as you guys can see on the chart over here. We're back under 9, but let's see if we can get back above 9. I mean, the all-time high on this stock was absolutely insane. HKD all-time high was like $2,000, right? 2.5 grand. Top's all-time high was around $256. So clearly, if the stock wanted to go, it's got a lot of room. But first, let us clear past this kind of SPAC area of $10 zone or so on. We'll see what happens. NKE earnings should be out now. It's 4:15. So let's go head over to NKE, see what this one's doing. NKE, oh wow, NKE looks like they missed earnings, ladies and gentlemen. We are dropping 1 full % of the downside and extensions towards that move. According to Earnings Whisper, the move on NKE was supposed to be about 5.3% move to the downside. We are already watching that move begin. It's descent at the moment. NKE, Nike dropping down most likely means Lululemon's dropping down at the moment, and also means Under Armour most likely swinging to the downside. Sympathy trades over here. Good night, Ramin. And did Fabian leave already? Yeah, maybe, I'm just saying good night if he left. That's it. Thank you for. Okay, thank you for everything, guys, and get home safe. See you guys tomorrow morning. Coming back to you guys, you lovely chat. As you guys see, the sympathy trade over here, Lululemon, Under Armour, most likely will start getting hurt a little bit off of this Nike earnings. I'm trying to find the report for Nike earnings, and what I usually do for that is I head over to the best news website ever, Twitter. I mean, yeah, Fabian's laughing over here for that joke. Thank you, Fabian. At least someone's laughing. But NKE, what are the numbers looking like? Let's see. Anyone posted what the numbers are? No one on Twitter posted what the numbers are yet. Oh, is this it? Reports today. Markets, Wall Street is expecting that. But what are the actual numbers? Somebody give me the numbers on Twitter. We'll just wait for them to update on that side for us. But yeah, market is very, very, very active at the moment. And NKE is going to be something on our watch list to take a look at for that activity. Let's also go to the longer time frame. Bye, Cat. You're not here tomorrow? Good night. All right, guys. Cat's not here tomorrow or Wednesday. So make sure you guys smash that like button and you know, show Kat all the love and support. She's going on vacation, so have fun, Kat. Make sure you enjoy that a lot. NKE, man, monster move to the downside, but I'm looking for some levels over here that we could trade off of. So where is my chart? Where did my chart disappear off to? There it is. So NKE, let's go to the longer time chart frame. Good night, Fabian. Get home safe, buddy. This is a longer time chart frame. This looks a little choppy in this range over here. This range is very, very choppy, and it makes sense why the stock is now, you know, immediately dropping to the downside. Obviously, it was an earnings move. This area over here around 113 most likely going to be a solid resistance in case the stock does pop towards that area. I don't see that pop happening. If we do see a pop coming in tomorrow to short, it probably will be around this 111, 112. I'm expecting the stock to, you know, maybe drop down to 108. Somewhere in this area right here to 108.70s and find some support before actually opening tomorrow. And then after we open tomorrow, we're looking for this 104 area to come into play. So these are my levels over here on what's the stock that we're looking at? NKE, Nike. On NKE, and if this area breaks, then ladies and gentlemen, we got much more room to the downside on this stock. So get ready for some fun action on this one without doubt. Could you please check PRGS? I know they have earnings today, but I've never really traded the stock, and their average volume is 600,000 shares. It's not that interesting for me as a day trader. The fact that the stock doesn't bring in volume at all means I cannot get in multiple times and take tiny losses and still be fine to come back and trade it again. So for me, the stock is a no trade as a day trader, not touching it. I don't see the volume increasing tomorrow, even with the earnings move that it has in it right now that we're seeing it. Not going to have it on my watch list. But for you, where can you take a position or an execution off of this tomorrow? I'll give you some ideas right now on that one. PRGS obviously making a pop on a positive earnings, as you guys can see on the right-hand side of my screen over here. We closed around $55, and now we're at 56, 57. Monster move to the upside. How could you trade this as a day trader? You don't. But how could you trade this as a day trader? That's the bottom right there. I love that double bottom bounce off earnings move too. So this area is now for sure solidified as a bottom for me until the next big earnings number comes out and destroys it. Looking for this move back into this range. This range lows around 56.18. We're already popping into that 56.18 area after hours. So that's good for PRGS. Wait. Yeah, PRGS. This says 56.18, 56.7, 57, but this one, oh yeah, that's right, because we're not, I'm looking at the longer time frame chart, so it doesn't show after hours. But yeah, after hours, we're looking for the stock to go back into this range, and we're already in this range of 56 to 57. The height of this range is $59. I think that's where I'm going to be expecting some rejection. Someone's actually calling me. It might actually be Bogdanov, but no, it might be one of those scam callers, man, annoying scam callers. But here, PRGS, I think 59 area sees some rejection. If 59 breaks, then we have another top over here at 61, 62. It'll be hard for me to see the stock get above 62. It's some sort of a package software technology company, Progress Software Corporation. Not sure what they do either. Provision of products that develop and deploy mission-critical business applications, products and solutions. Open Edge, okay. I know what Open Edge is. Developer tools. Developer tools. Okay, I don't know what Chef is. I think I've heard what Move It is. I think I remember what Move It is. I'm trying to remember what that is. Kemp Loadmaster Gold, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, not bad. They actually have some software over there or solutions that I've heard of before. I've just never traded this company. I've never heard of it. But overall, 600,000 shares traded on a 10-day average. No, not a day trade for me. I do like the swing on it. The swing on this position, you know, you build in longs around these areas, you're in the money now off of earnings. But YOLOing earnings plays is never a good idea, you know, because you just don't know what exactly might happen off that earnings move. You could set yourself up for that trade, but after hours already low liquid volume periods. The stock already itself does no volume to begin with intraday. Yes, earnings is there, which means the volume should increase, but let's say that doesn't happen. Then you are now caught in a liquidity gap, and the stock is just grabbing all the liquidity and just destroying your position. And for you to punch out, exit on the after hours is going to be so painful. You're just looking for an exit and trying so hard. Depending on the size you have, it could be even more painful. So that's why, as day traders, we try to stay away from low volume stocks. As swing traders, it could be a little bit easier, but I try to stay away from that too. Somebody told me once that, you know, as swing trader or as a day trader, it's always best idea to look at good companies and trade those good companies, and it just keeps it easier for yourself. And then when the bad companies show up, they are very obvious. They're very obvious. Much valuable info. Thank you, says Valid. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys. I hope it's not a loan shark, Prad. Progress? I don't think it is. Don't think it is. All right. Now, if we can get back to our watch list that we created before getting derailed over here from NKE earnings. I mean, I still want to get derailed a bit. NKE right back to $113. Are you kidding me? Wow. Nike right back to $113, and now it's trying to go higher, ladies and gentlemen. Nike! We thought the numbers were bad. Nope. It's checks over stripes. That's what I like. That's what I like. Who knows the song? I forgot the rest of the lyrics, but let's go. It looks like, you know, Drake clearly has an influence on Nike business. Wow, we're about to take out the high a day. Nike now up 1 full percent. There is some size on the bids over here on the NASDAQ gateway. Sorry, yeah, that is the NASDAQ. NSDQ is the NASDAQ gateway. So NSB should be the New York gateway, I'm guessing. It should be NYB though. Why did it say NSB? Looks like they changed some letters over here, as long as I remember. But man, whatever gateway that is, 114 had some size. You saw that size getting taken out. We're now teetering around exactly where we traded all day today. So NKE still doesn't know what it wants to do. I said I want the numbers, and I still haven't seen any. So let's go find these numbers over here. Come on, Twitter, post the numbers for me. Somebody post the numbers. Post an EPS miss and a sales beat for the quarter. Okay, thank you. Today's numbers, blah, 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 blah. EPS 0.66 misses by a penny. Okay, that's not a miss in my book. Estimate sales 12.82 billion compared to 12.59 billion. They did beat estimates on the sales numbers. So revenue, reported quarterly earnings of 66. Yeah, we read that already. This is a 33% decrease over earnings of a 0.99 per share from the same period. Now that's the number that probably brought the stock down first. And now we're probably looking at the stock retrace some of these moves from the possible guidance and all other extra catalysts that comes out, because you got to remember, right? The stock market is about the future. There was a viewer in the midday today talking about how, you know, it doesn't make sense why Space SPCE launched a rocket today, did so successfully, and still sold off. The market's inefficient. And I was giving, you know, the viewer a different side of view, which is if the market was efficient, then the market wouldn't move, right? The prices won't move for stocks that are efficient, because why would you sell or buy any stock that is efficiently priced? It doesn't make sense. The markets wouldn't move. The markets are based on the future, right? The present matters and the past matters too. But when the companies like NKE or any company announces earnings, the more important catalyst over here is the guidance, in my opinion. So their numbers might have been bad, a little bit of a mixed report. They missed on EPS, they beat on revenue. The EPS was 33% drop from the last EPS of the same quarter this year. So that number brought them down first, but then the guidance is most likely helping them go back up north, because I can't see anything else in this report that's telling me why they're going back up north. Right? So now we have to go find out what the guidance is. What is the CEO saying? What is the whoever's on their phone calls, conference calls is saying? I would love to see when their investor phone call is, their conference call, and maybe join that too. Not that I have Nike shares in my long term, but just to it's always good. Look at that iceberg on 113. Look at this iceberg on 113. There is a big buyer on 113 right now. Right now, this very moment, there is a big buyer on 113. Look at the amount of shares that we printed on 113, and the stock could not break it. That's a level right there that you might want to watch tomorrow. I mean, if I just add these levels up, 100, 750, 1,000, 100, 300, 100, 100, 100,000, 250, 100, 100, 100, 100, another 1,000. Look how many orders there are that are being smacked into the 130. More. I'm out of my chair now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing up. I'm out of my chair. This stock is showing us real support at 113 in the after hours on liquid gateways. We're not talking Fugazi gateways. We're talking liquid gateways. 113 in the after hours. Looks like there's a real buyer here coming in on NKE. For those of you who are new to trading and you're wondering, how can I spot an iceberg? What even is an iceberg? An iceberg is basically when you only see 100 shares on the level 1. On the level 2, you only see 100 shares, but when this happens on the stock, where it prints more than 100 shares, it printed about, maybe 10,000 shares or something, I don't know the number exactly, well, it printed 9,800 alone in that print right there. Right there, that print alone printed 9,800, so way more than 10,000 shares printed on $13 at that moment, and we could not break that level. So that's an iceberg. There's way more size being hidden because they don't want you to know how much size they're trying to accumulate or how much size they're trying to let go. So we don't know what's going on at the moment. All we know is there's a big buyer at 113, and if this 113 level holds tomorrow, you know what to do off that level. I already know my answer. Hopefully you do. Pratt has legs. How about that? Yeah, you guys didn't know that I was, 7 feet tall. Eh? I'm out of the frame right now. Those chairs over there make me look ridiculously small. I'm not. Did I say 7? I meant 6. I meant 6. I thought I said 7 though. But yeah, man, we're tall over here. But there's another guy in this office though who sits next to Obi. That guy's got real height. All right. Love the animation. Great commentary. Pratt says, Michelle, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate the love. Honestly, I just love my job. There was a quote that I heard on Instagram recently. If you are so good at your job that you hate doing, imagine how good you would be at a job that you love doing. I'm not saying I'm good at this job, but I just love doing this job so much that emotions, energy, it just exudes out of me when things like this come out in the market. People saying, Prad, can you talk about Shopify? For sure, we love Shopify over here. I think Shopify is a Canadian company. It should be a Canadian company. Spotify is not the Canadian company. Shopify is a Canadian company, and down 1.4% today. Absolutely beat down, man. Why Shopify? But if you look at Shopify on a longer time chart frame, you wouldn't say beat down at all, honestly. I mean, Shopify has recovered quite a bit from the recent lows. It also had a split. If you guys remember, Shopify used to be $1,000 stock. It had a pretty monstrous split that brought the stock to $100 or so, and then it sold off quite a bit, sadly. But overall, man, nice little bounce coming back into Shopify. I think the stock might be into a little bit of create a sideways range now, consolidate sideways before we make the next leg up. It would be hard for me to see the stock go back into these old ranges, but I do think if that range does come into play, we see support showing up at $40. Keep in mind, I love using EMAs, right? So if the stock is now showing us that the EMAs, the 50 and the 100 on the one-day chart are curling back up north, which is a clear indication of change of trend in the stock itself. So the trend is changing. We're no longer going down. This action right here where it intersects the EMAs and then gets above the EMAs, that's for me is like the clear trigger of the trend change, right? None of this is back tested. All of this is Prad tested, which means I've just seen it looking at the stock multiple times, multiple stocks for the past 3 years or so. It just comes from pattern recognition and seeing things again and again during repetition. You know, me being the alpha tier gamer that I am, you need pattern recognition to be good at games, because once you lose, you learn what happened and you try not to repeat that mistake. Pattern recognition, I believe, is one of my very natural talents. And looking at this pattern over here where the EMAs cross through each other and then they turn, that is an obvious trend change. Shopify now in a bullish market for itself, ignoring the stock market, which is also bullish. Shopify in a bullish trend itself. If it does drop down anywhere to the 100-period EMA, I would think there is support there, which happens to be around this $50 area. There's also a possible gap close on this trade. But for the gap to be closed, you would need this level to be breaking. So that level needs to break for the gap to be closed. And for that level to come into play, we need the stock first to test these areas around $60. So trade ideas for Shopify that you might be interested in: a 67.50 break long, or a 60 break short to for a move down to 55. I don't want to gamble in this low volume ranges because this is not a real range for me. This range is not a real range. It has no substance, no meaning to me at all. I want to see where the stock traded real volume, get tested and break, or get tested and show support. That's how I like to trade. Vote now for which rap for Pratt to freestyle on. Ooh, I could freestyle all day, and I'm joking. I can't freestyle. I can make beats. I can't make freestyles. We are lucky to have you, Pratt, on. Calm down, Sky. You're going to make me blush now. Stop it. Let's go to, I have a watch list here, guys. I would love to take a list of stocks, look at stocks that you guys are looking at. I want me to take a look at, because obviously this segment is for you guys. This show is for you guys. But I have a list over here. So let me go through some stocks over there, and then I'll pick some stocks from the chat again, if you guys don't mind that, okay? So I'm going to go through the next list of stocks, which is going to be the banking sector, XLF, KRE. XLF is the bigger banks. KRE is the regional banks, the smaller banks. Both of them having a monster day to the green side today. Obviously, the banks passing stress test is a very big catalyst for the market. Banks have been getting absolutely destroyed recently. So if they are passing any kind of stress test, that's good. Right? They've been weighing down the S&P 500 for God knows how long now. So any sort of good news for this sector is good news for the overall sector itself. The banking sector, good news means good news for the markets in general. So let's see this banking sector wake up. Let's look at JP Morgan for possible trades over here. Oh, I already see a trade looking at the stock immediately. Look at this level on the stock. Why are you disconnecting me? Who's logging into my account here? Who's hacking my account? Stop disconnecting me. Okay, so JP Morgan, it's probably my other computer on that side. I wonder why, though. It's logged off. Weird. Trading View Fixers garbage. Okay, so bang, bang. Those are the levels that I'm looking for. Look at this consolidation box. Yeah, that's a wide range. I know, chat. I know you guys will get mad at when I draw these wide ranges and then I just sit on my hands, wait for these ranges to play out. That's just the type of trader I am, right? But that range is coming into play. With the positive catalyst in this sector, the sector has also been, ooh, Prad, what are you doing? The sector has also been beat down quite a bit, right? This was where we were. The bank sector failures is what brought the whole sector down here, and then we went back to the north side a little bit. So now that we have this range in the upper end of this whole range itself, let's see what happens around this 145, 144.50 area on JP Morgan. If this catalyst is as good as they say it is, then we should break above 145, right? Because all this down move had nothing to do with JP Morgan, correct? This whole down move had nothing to do with JP Morgan. So if good news comes out, then we should technically go back into that same range that we were hanging out in, because the catalyst had nothing to do with you. It was the smaller banks that were getting deleted off the face of the earth. That's the idea. That's my thesis. I'm not saying it should. It needs to happen. There is no 100% guarantee in the market for anything to happen. But that's my thesis. That's my idea. So forming a trade around it, let's look for that 145 break. Let's look for that 150 target on JP Morgan. Beautiful swing trade, most likely incoming on the banking sector over here. BAC also setting up the same way, but a little bit better, because BAC's range is still in the lower end, whereas JP Morgan's range is in the higher end, right? So BAC's range still in the lower end. I'm guessing Wells Fargo looks a lot like Bank of America, honestly. Yeah, exactly. So Wells Fargo, Bank of America, the breakout longs on these stocks look way better to me than JP Morgan, just because of where the stock is in the range of where it's traded overall. So that's my ideas over there. Same type of setups show up on both of these trades at the end of the day, though. You take the breakout longs, look for the next target. Love it. Prad looks out for us, but who looks out for Prad? You guys do, by sending in those super chats, by sending in those likes, and sending in all those other cool things that you guys do. Thank you, Michael Noss. I don't know if he's in the chat, but Michael Noss just posted a tweet about coming and hanging out over here on the show. Thank you, Michael Noss. Appreciate it a lot. I'm actually looking for some DMs from our boy Bears versus Bulls to see if there's anything that you guys want me to take a look at. And no DMs. So nothing over here for me to talk about from you guys. So I'm just going to keep looking at, going back to my list. We talked about the banking sector. I love the banking sector right now. I think the pain in the banking sector has kind of calmed down a little bit. PACW still not back above $9, but up 3% on the day today. What more can you ask for? We want to see the $9 though. Let's see that $9 test. Let's get above $9 on this bad boy for PACWskis. The next sector I want to talk about is going to be cryptos, Bitcoin. Bitcoin still on the green side, still struggling with that 31,500 area / 30,000 in general. We're not going at least below 30,000, so that's a good thing. But we're not, able to get back above this double top that we're creating near 30,500 at the moment. But that's not stopping Coinbase. Coinbase, another monster rally to the north side today. 72, 73 coming into play. Actually, yesterday's high was the barrier again today on Coinbase. So you could what's going on with my chart here? There you go. Yesterday's high was exactly the barrier today again, giving you that short opportunity. If this level now breaks out and we see a running past this, a beautiful long coming in, 74.50 break, 75 break, and if that break also matches up with Bitcoin breaking out to the north side, what more can you ask for? That's easy setup. Just close your eyes, go long on that setup over there. We also have a new catalyst for Bitcoin, I believe, which is the Fidelity is now going to be joining BlackRock on the Bitcoin ETF. So more positive catalysts over there. Bitcoin getting ready to be more appropriatized, is that the right word? Or culture, brought into the culture over here, the stock market culture. I like it. All things good for cryptocurrencies. Now I'm actually only down 30% on my Bitcoin investment. Can you believe that? I was down like 80% at one point. Mainstream. Thank you, HBDS. Yeah, cryptocurrencies are being brought in to be more mainstream now, so I do like that catalyst. But if I'm able to take this comparison real quick, when an artist from the music industry goes mainstream, they die off a little bit, right? Their music sells a little bit less. People start hating on them. This is obviously the music industry. I wonder if that will happen for crypto too. If crypto goes mainstream, will you have those hippies being like, oh, I had crypto before crypto went mainstream, and now everybody has crypto. Oh, I listened to Kanye before Kanye was radio, and now everybody listens to Kanye, right? Things like that. I wonder what would happen once crypto does go mainstream. I can't wait for those arguments being taken place on the streets, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be very, very funny to listen to those conversations. Appropriated. Is that how you say it? appropriated. Hopefully I said that right. English third language, guys. English third language. मैं हिंदी बात करता हूँ and नाकु तेलुगु कुड़ा వచ్చు. But I've been taught English. English is third language. I struggle sometimes. Bitcoin has rise in the short term. I mean, more than rise, man. More than rise. Bitcoin has soared, taken off, glitched in the matrix to the north side. I don't know what other words I can say over here for this bad boy to the north side. I mean, Bitcoin, insane. Like I said, I was down 80%. I'm only down 30 now. Insane. So Bitcoin going up. Mara is another stock that you can have on your watch list. We were giving you this trade pretty much every single day. We were talking about how if this 1350 level, $13 area breaks, you could see the stock moving up to 1450. It gives you that break. It pushes up to 1450, sorry, 1420, 1430. Now the next exact same setup again. You look for this area to break and look for that next high at 1550. Then you look for 15 to break and that next high around 18, 17. You just keep repeating these trade setups, ladies and gentlemen. It's not rocket science. You know what is rocket science in trading? Let's get into it. What is rocket science in trading is yourself, right? Creating a system, making the plan, is not that hard because you're not creating. Market's been existing for God knows how long. Back in Amsterdam, when I think the market was originally created in Amsterdam or Austria, I forget, one of those A countries, where they started trading foods and groceries and so on. But coming back to it, you're not creating something new. Things have existed in the market for years and years and years. So all you have to do is take a system that already exists. There's many systems out there, back-tested. Take that system and incorporate it. So why do so many people fail? There's an answer out there, like not an answer, but a theory out there that 90% of the people fail. 90% of the people fail. 90% lose 90% of their bank account in 90 days on trading. Why does that happen? When there's already so much documentation and answers for free on the internet, when you have channels like this on the internet every day, it's you. You are the problem. You have to fix yourself, your mental game. You gotta learn how to be disciplined. That's something that I had to do big time. I sucked at discipline, right? I had to implement things in my own life to be more disciplined, like making my bed first thing in the morning. I'll say it out loud. It took me 28 years to get to this point where, like, okay, I got to make my bed every day in the morning because that will teach me how to be disciplined in my trading. It happened. That bled into my life. That bled into my trading. Patience. A bunch of other attributes that you need to work on to getting better. People much rather point the finger at the setup, at the market. Oh, it's an inside day. I'm not going to trade today. Shut up. Look for that trade. I'm talking to myself here, right? Shut up. Look for that trade. Make that money, right? There's always opportunities out there. You can point the finger at how many people you want on an every single day basis. Be like, yeah, Jim Cramer made me lose. Yeah, Prad made me lose. Yeah, Sean made me lose. But let's turn that towards ourselves. How can I get better? What can I learn? What are the mistakes here? And that's the number one problem in trading. Maybe that helps, that little tidbit over there helps you out because it helped me for sure. When I was, making the trading mistakes I was making excuses too, which is pointing at the market, pointing at this, be like, oh, my idea worked, but the trade worked in my level anyways, but I got stop hunted. No, how can you fix that? How can you say, I didn't get stop hunted, the trade was wrong? How can we get better? Fix ourselves before we point fingers. Mara, gotta love it. Let's send it to the moon, baby. Send this bad boy to the moon. Let's move to the next sector that I want to talk about over here. The cruise line sector wasn't that hot today. Was it hot today? Yeah, it wasn't that hot today. We were hot for the last few days, though. Insane moves on the cruise line travel sector. I'll just say that. Can't talk. Travel sector, CCL, NCLH, and so on. But a little bit of a sell-off event coming in today. CCL tried to go claim $18, but the obvious failure over here of $18 area. Now we're going to look for shorts around these levels. Look for possible shorts from anywhere from here to here. So what is those prices? Let's quickly draw a box. Look for shorts anywhere from 1775 to 1750. And then if 1775 breaks, obviously we can expect 18 coming into play. And then a fail break of 18, you can try shorts again over there. Or if 18 breaks, then you just enjoy the ride to the north side more. Profits incoming on CCL. RCL kind of setting up the same way. NCLH also had a monster day a couple days ago. And today, a little bit of a sell-off event, profit-taking event coming in on all of these moves over here. So I'm still liking the sector, but I think the sector has a little bit of pullback coming in it to test some supports, test some demands buy zones, okay? So let's watch carefully what happens over here. Love what you do, Brad, but that hoodie looks like you just spent 2 hours cleaning out a septic tank. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. What's wrong with that? Some people need their septic tanks cleaned, okay? And that's a good job. Nothing wrong with it, all right? No job shaming. Oil, the next sector that I have on board over here. Did I just really type in oil? Let's go to crude futures. I just typed in oil like it was a ticker, which apparently it was. Oil was some India futures stock, Oil India Limited. Okay, cool. Bharat Mahan. I think that's how you... Mera Bharat Mahan. There you go. That's what you're supposed to say. People are going to think I'm not Indian at all. Wow. Okay, crude futures. Green day today. Still holding these bottoms. I think the catalyst that we had a couple days ago recently was, the whole Wagner Group catalyst that made oil futures pop up to the north side. But since then, kind of muted at the moment, not really doing too much for the crude futures. XLE has been on absolute fire. I mean, look at this trend line. We actually drew this trend line, I believe, on one of these few days ago. If it's not this week, then we drew it last week, right? That trend line support coming in one more time. Beautiful support on the trend line for the sector. You can see that same answer showing up on XOM, on CVX. We had a triple bottom on CVX right here. Look at that triple bottom showing up. For more supports, Oxy also showing up. Now, for those of you wondering, Brad, you're just talking about stocks and levels. You're not giving us trades. Well, that's the trade right there. You look for a long anywhere in this range. 150, 151, 152. Your stop is the low of this candles, 149.80, right? Give it a little bit more than what the level is, 149.80, 149.70. Your targets are 160, 170, 180, depending on how long time frame that you plan to hold the trade, right? So that's the trade right there. Look for that double bottom. People in the chat saying, bye-bye Nike. What's going on? Why are you saying that, chat? Back under to the downside. What just happened? It got Kathy woodshedded after the positive move. So it looks like that big buyer at 113 is absolute. Good night. Got cleaned out, sent home, crying with his you-know-what between his legs. Hurt, absolutely hurt. Let's go to NKE. I think I had a line at 113, did I not? No, I had a line at 112. Okay. I had a line at 112, not 113. We did see 113 hold though on the stock in the after hours. A big iceberg buyer was there. If the stock does pop up to 112, 113, you know what I'm going to do now. It's going to be an obvious short for me in my mind. The stock could easily go to 108s tomorrow, 109s tomorrow, so I'm looking for that move. Only down 1.36% in the after hours so far. Expected move was 5.5%. So maybe we still got some room to go over here on NKE to the downside if that's the case. They still have an earnings call at 5 p.m. Wow. Okay. So I thought their earnings call would have already been done. They still have a conference call at 5 p.m. Thank you, Bears vs. Bull, for updating me on that because I would not have known at all. Let's go to the last, really the last sector left on this board over here. Before I go to the sector, though, I'm going to go to chip sector because we love the chip sector. AMD, ladies and gentlemen, look at that purple box. I love purple boxes. Purple box is basically a range that I like to look for what the stocks do in. I have purple boxes on almost every single large cap stock. Not on this chart, but I have it on my other charts because this chart is just for the show over here. And this chart is on Meta, right? See that purple box? I like to see what the stocks do in these ranges. Meta for me, that box is most likely a resistance. AMD for me, this box most likely a support. I would love to see the support coming in at the 50-period EMA, which exactly AMD is looking for after closing that gap. And now if we see buyers coming back in, launch back to 115 and show me that the buyers are fighting for price on AMD. It gets me excited because I'm invested on the stock at $95 per share on the long-term frame. So I want AMD obviously moonshotting like Apple's been moonshotting, a new all-time high on Apple. So that's my trade setup on AAPL. Somewhere around 107 to 108, I'm looking for longs, and then I'm also looking for a breakout of 113 for a possible move of 115. Apple 190, ladies and gentlemen. The after-hour high of I think 109, 190, 40, 190, 50. Platinum Prad will be coming. Don't worry, I'm not gonna screw you guys out of Platinum Prad, but what a monster move over here for Apple. The shorts are only things that I'm going to be looking for, so maybe a retracement back through 190 on Apple is something to keep a lookout for. But the way that the markets are moving right now, I mean, NASDAQ, S&P 500, absolutely flat, not trying to go too much to the downside. And when they do go to the downside, the volume is much, much, much lower. So what that means is the longs aren't really taking profits. What that means is the run's not done yet. Shout out to Michael Noss for teaching me about that. Go follow Michael Noss on Twitter, by the way. Amazing information every single day. Tweets coming out, news information, maybe not news information, but tweets coming out every single day. A bunch of trade ideas for swing and day traders. You guys are going to love him. I love him. I'm planning to have Michael Noss on one of the episodes over here for the podcast episode. So if you end up catching that one, it'll be awesome. We can't wait for that one. What volume indicator are you using, says Waleed. This is volume profile, and this is just normal volume. I use volume profile, two different ones. I use visible range. So this is visible range, basically moves based on how much ever candles are on the chart. And then I also use anchored, which is basically, I believe, the last 2 weeks or so. It takes the last 2-3 weeks bunch of trading, and it shows me the volume profile based on that. So now that we talked about the overall markets and what we think about the large caps such as Meta, Microsoft, Apple, AMD, and Nvidia, most of them I'm thinking bearish. You wouldn't be surprised by me saying that, but I will be ready to smash the longs on any of them if the opportunity shows up and the market keeps climbing up the way it is. The next stock over here is going to be quickly a recap of Micron, because Micron, even with the positive earnings but negative guidance, got absolutely beat up. They are breaking levels to the downside now. If we do break the 64 level on Micron, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how important this level is. 64 level on Micron was super important. We've been watching this level to go long for like God knows how long. We've been waiting to get long Micron 64. And when that day showed up, I think Neil, myself, Max, all had that long, and we were laughing to the bank with our profits. Now, Obi's going, ha ha ha. I like it. Thank you, Obi. Micron over here, coming back down to 64. That's the trade. That's the trade. So now we look for 64 to break, or we look for 64 to hold. If 64 holds with positive earnings and negative guidance, you could get a little bit of a weak bounce to get a long into. But if 64 doesn't hold, you got awesome shorts to the downside, more negative moves coming in, the China trouble for the AMD sector, the chip sector coming in and weighing them down a little bit more. So let's just get ready for some moves over here. Prad, finish with rap, buddy, old pal. I can't rap, bro. I can't rap. I can beatbox for you, but I can't rap. Here goes Nike to 108 now. Oh, that's why we're not seeing anything moving on my trading platform, is because our software logs us out from the servers at 4:15. That makes no sense. I'm looking at the stock. It's not making any moves. I'm wondering what's going on, but there it is. MO is moving up right now too. What's going on with the Altria Group? MO apparently absolutely moving to the north side. Can we find something about it? Reduces holding in Altria Group. HM Payson Co. Isn't that a bad news? Guru fundamental report on MO. Here's what you need to know beyond why Altria Group Inc. is a trending stock, blah, blah, blah. Nicotine pouch market size to hit 17.3 billion. All of these news articles are dropping today. So a bunch of news coming out for Altria. Altria 45 seemed to be some sort of a level, but now we are above 45. My goodness. MO, man. Woo, looks like we found another stock to put it on our watch list over here, ladies and gentlemen. What happened there? Is MO moving or is it not moving? Oh, it dropped right back. Oh, it dropped right back. What Trade Ideas is saying it's moving, but this one's not showing me any moves over here. I'm so confused. But let's go to NKE because this one is what we want to talk about. Look at that. Prastradamus in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Can I say it? Look, this is the 5-minute chart. Look at the high of that 5-minute candle. All right? Look at the low of that 5-minute candle. Look where the bounce is incoming right now on Nike. How long ago did we throw these lines out on the chart for you guys? How long ago were these lines even thrown out on the chart for you? 104 incoming on NKE. We hit that 5% marker. We're now down, well, only 3% now, but we were down 5.5%. Looks like Options AI is a winner one more time. Options AI doesn't get it wrong because obviously they're using real numbers and calculating using real AI, so they don't get it wrong on their side. 5.5% drop coming in on NKE, a little bit of a bounce coming off of our levels that we just mapped out. The gap has been filled, or no, the gap could get filled, says Mikey. I am not denying that statement. I wanted to short 108, so hopefully we don't get below 108 anytime soon. 104 incoming very, very soon on NKE most likely. This stock is very much going to be on play without doubt. Another stock that's going to be in play is actually going to be STZ, Constellation Brands. It's obviously a little bit of a heavier price stock and only does about 1 million shares on a 10-day average volume period. So I don't expect STZ to be, banger of a trade, but we could find the stock moving around a little bit if we were to, sorry as I burp, if we were to go to Options AI to find what STZ's indicated implied volatility move is. No, don't say that. Go back. Oh, work for me. Work. Come on. STZ. That one. Earnings. Don't crash. Thank you. A 2.9% move, which is expected to be the upper range of $250 or the lower range of $240 after the earnings comes out. The earnings is pre-market for STZ. And for those of you who remember, STZ owns Canopy Growth, CGC, or Weed.to on the Toronto market. They own about 30% or something of the weed market. They also make alcohol. I think they own Corona. I was actually talking to Brendan about, don't they make alcohol? And he said, yeah, they make Corona. Or did he say Corona or did he say Modelo? No, Modelo is from Mexico, right? So I think it's Corona. Corona might be STZ. So, hey, these are your trades that you might want to watch out tomorrow. BlackBerry had earnings today. You might want to watch BlackBerry. Right before I wrap off the day over here, we like to take a look at the economic calendar. So let me quickly run through it because I'm already over time. We got PCE coming in at 8:30 tomorrow. Brendo is going to be covering that number for you. So make sure you tune in at 8:30. If you're not, you're going to miss out that information. After then, we got really no two big informations coming out, two big economic data coming out. We do have the Chicago PMI at 945 with the double star, so that's something to watch out. And then there's no other big catalyst to watch out for, so we can move on from that. You guys saw how boring the IPOs were today. SVV might be something to put on the watch list. For the short side, but the other two IPOs were boring. We do have another IPO tomorrow, which is VTMX on the New York market. Supposed to be opening at $32.07. We will be watching that stock for sure. And last but not least is our FOMC tool. Probably, for 3 days in a row now, we did not see a change at all, but now we are seeing an increase in the expected 0.25 rate hike on the next FOMC day, which is on the 26th of July. So more and more expectation of the 0.25 rate hike incoming for the market. Ladies and gentlemen, since I am over time, I am going to call it here. Hopefully you found some amazing opportunities, amazing trades for the short term, for the day trade, and for a swing and long trade. If you did enjoy what we're doing over here every single day from 8:30 till 5 o'clock, make sure you hit the like button. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for everyone who was very active in the chat. It helps with the algorithm too. And make sure you throw some comments in the videos if you can. It also helps that. We will see you guys as we always do, 8:30, bright and early in the morning. I will be on the midday tomorrow at 11, not 12, 11, as Brendo actually is on vacation. So Sharif will be in the morning for you guys. Take care. I'll see you at 11 and then back again at 4 for, we don't know who the guest is going to be yet, but a fun Friday podcast episode. So take care. Peace.